Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Doing great, doing great. Hey, we have a great guest with us in the house, two guests actually, and today we're going to be talking about how this particular agent has been able to build her real estate business almost exclusively off of referral business. So you need to definitely take notes during this particular episode. So let's get right into it. We've got Tiffany Drejza, realtor with Remax Desert Showcase, and Joanna Jones with Security Title. How you doing?
Joanna? Hello, I'm doing great.
Awesome. Hey, Tiffany, we had you on here way back in, what was it? June, I think, of 2019. And that was like episode, what did I say? 192. And now we're up to like 312 or something. So welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We're excited to hear how much your business has actually changed, even though I know you said that you're doing about the same stuff as you did before. But sometimes the stuff that works is the stuff you need to be doing, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's jump right into it. Why don't you share with the agents that are watching and listening how long you've been in the business and what got you into real estate?
All right. So I started real estate here in the Valley in 1989. I grew up here in the Valley. My parents have had their own real estate company, originally Ryder Realty, and then Desert State Realty since 1992. We sold that business in 2008, as many real estate companies closed their doors at that time. And I joined Remax about a year later. And I've been with them ever since.
A lot has changed since 2008, huh?
Yes. In 2008, I actually purchased the real estate company from my parents in 2006. So those were the most stressful, difficult 2 years of my life because it was the beginning of the end. So ever since then, I have been so grateful and so happy to just be a realtor. I don't manage, own, recruit, train, have to fix the copier, have to pay the rent payment. It's so nice just to be in charge of myself and make a living on my own efforts and not hoping agents are making it and staying in the business, because unfortunately those statistics are not very good. So I'm as just happy as a clam over here selling real estate.
I bet you were really stressed in 2008 because I bet a lot of agents were really getting out of the business.
Yes.
Then. Yeah.
And if you remember, that was before short sale. No one knew how to do a short sale, and the lenders didn't know how to do a short sale. So the market was falling like a stone, and literally it would be 12 months in escrow trying to negotiate a short sale. So, agents couldn't make it. And for myself personally, and this was a shift in my business prior to becoming the owner and the manager of the company, for a good solid 15 years of my earlier real estate life, I did contingency removal. So when someone went into a new home builder to buy a new home and had a home to sell, we, removed that contingency. We sold that home. So that was the source of my business, very consistently, 6 listings a month, 4 sales a month, month in and month out. Didn't know how good we had it, but the prices were lower. The prices were definitely lower during that time. So in 2005, when the market exploded, literally overnight, new home builders didn't need us anymore. And so my way of doing real estate completely stopped. And then it continued to stop in between 2006 and 2008. Needless to say, 2/3 of the builders went bankrupt. Our market changed. So when I had to think long and hard, is real estate still for me? And probably like many people that lived through that initial time.
Tiffany, you cut out on us.
Yes. Pardon me? So anyway, needless to say, I'm grateful I stayed in the business, and but I had to adapt and change.
Got it. And Joanna, how about yourself? What have you been up to these days?
We're just moving along with this market. We're doing a lot of fun events and just staying active, really just being out there in front of our agents and getting their marketing, what they need to keep themselves out there in front of the buyers and sellers.
Yeah. Well, it's important right now, isn't it?
Yes, for sure.
And there was probably a time over the last few months that it seemed like, oh my gosh, are there going to be any contracts, right? Like
it
6 months ago?
Kind of up and down a little, 1 week will feel like, wow, it's coming back, and then a slow week. So yeah, it's been an interesting last couple of months.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Tiffany, do you want to share with the agents how you've built such a referral business?
Sure. I'm embarrassed to say, or maybe this is hopeful for some people, who knows, but I was not always diligent about staying in touch with my clients. In fact, when I was in that previous life, as I was talking about the 6 and 4 and sell, I did not stay in touch with one client. But when I joined Remax and basically my career started afresh, I completely changed that and started calling on my clients, past clients, new clients, as if they were a new home agent, because the new home agents, we'd go visit, bring them little gifts, take them lunch, make a friend, get to know them. And so I just changed that focus to my existing database. So I did also learn about the Brian Buffini. I'm sure many realtors out there know about the Buffini method. And although I can always do better, the main thing that I have taken from his philosophy is number one, go deeper with the people you know. And 2, give them items of value, stay in touch, belly to belly. So I am an advocate of the pop by and stopping by, visiting a past client. So I'm very religious. I probably do that maybe 300 pop bys a year. I try to see every client no less than 2 times. Ones I like a little more, maybe 3.
Probably lunches with those ones you like a little bit more.
Yeah. So some of them are, especially anybody that a friend referred someone else. And now I have 2 or 3 people in that network, or there's the family members, the daughter, the son. I'll take them all to lunch. So it gives them a chance to see each other again. And then also client appreciation parties. I do try to have at least 2 a year. It's so nice to come back to that after COVID. Prior to just recently, the last one I had done was October of 2019. That's when I had celebrated 30 years in real estate and had a big party. And then so just came back to that December of 22 and had to actually do 3 client appreciation parties between December and January 15th to get all the client, there wasn't one venue for everybody. So yeah, we did one in the Southwest Valley, one in the Northwest Valley, and then one in the Southeast Valley.
That's cool. What kind of parties are they? I mean, what do you do at these? You try to think of something different every single year, or what?
Yes and no. So can't go wrong with Mexican food. Can't go wrong with Mexican food. So usually one is dinner, Mexican food restaurant. It's easy. It's a buffet. It's actually pretty affordable. And the key is find a venue that has music. Nobody wants just to sit around talking, just looking at each other, it's a little awkward. You're little, people are just, human. So it really helps to have live music. I'm fortunate enough that my husband actually plays music. So one event did not have music. I asked him to come along. It was the smaller event in the Southeast Valley. There was probably about 20 clients there. And he and actually my 17-year-old son provided music and singing. And then on the Northwest one that I had that did not have music. So I brought a portable speaker, made a special playlist kind of based on who was there and their age groups. And then I brought, you can laugh at this, I brought some games. I brought Family Feud, and, it's like a travel game, Family Feud. So I tried to pick the best cards that I could find. I'm like, okay, the left side, you're a family. Right side, you're a family. And we did like 3 or 4 rounds of it again, just while we're waiting for drinks and waiting for dinner to start, just to kind of loosen it up. And so, yes.
Well,
and then the first party live music.
It sounds like you like to have fun.
Yes, I am a pretty joyful person. So I do like to have fun, and I'm pretty vulnerable. So I will share the embarrassing story about myself. I have no problem doing that. Other client appreciation parties, this is another good one, is Lake Pleasant has a cruise. And on a certain night, it's either Friday or Saturday, they have music. It's slightly more expensive, like $2, maybe $5. It was completely worth it. So it was like a sunset cruise. That was a good one. That one was one I invited everybody. And surprisingly, even the Southeast people made the trek. There is a boat like that out at Canyon Lake, the Dolly. So either side of town. A peer of mine in the office is doing an appreciation at Uptown Alley. And I guess that it's about $25 per person. So that might be fun for like a family event, people, with their kids or something. There's different places, but definitely having some element of fun, music, entertainment helps.
Right. Sounds great. What about, are you using a specific kind of database or something to send out emails or newsletters? Are you doing any of that stuff too?
Yes and no. Again, can't we always do better? Can't we? So if I'm being honest and real, my things that I use the most, very most, is my phone and an Excel spreadsheet and my day timer. I write down who all did I see, so then I can go back. But really, by looking in my phone, I can see, oh, I text this person. I went to that person in October. Because I do always send a text. I don't just necessarily knock on the door and like, hi, do you remember me? Because that can be awkward. So I always send a text message, typically 10, 15 minutes. Hey, I'm in your neighborhood, thinking about you. I have a little some spring, happy whatever. There's always something. If you're busy or not home, I can leave it by the door. But if you're home and want to visit, just let me know. It'd be great to catch up. So I can just look on my phone and see like, oh, it's been a little, I have not been over to their house since last December. So sometimes I'm surprised about that. But that is my honest thing that I do. However, Remax has recently acquired or merged with or started utilizing a software program, KV Core, that's supposed to keep us more organized to do that on an automated basis.
Yeah. Well, it's always good to send something out, I think, on a regular basis. But if you're making phone calls, that's even better.
Yeah, I apologize. I do automatically send, I think it's Personal Best. It's a, postcard company that is a trifold, home living, and there's 2 or 3 different kinds. I actually sent 2. I mix it up. 1 month is one type, 1 month is another. So one's a little more real estate oriented, and one's more just homeowner oriented or living well. So that goes out automatically to all my clients every month. Got
it. And you mentioned too before we started that your makeup of business right now is probably 50-50, buyer and seller.
Yes. So I've tracked that ever since I started Remax, and year in and year out, it is, and it's not on purpose, to be honest with you. It's just how it works out, but it's almost always 50-50. If it's ever out of balance, it might be 60-40, 1 year more buyers, 1 year more sellers. Summer tends to have a lot of buyers, it feels like, and the rest of the year tends to have a lot of sellers, it feels like. But I'm still tracking 50-50. Currently, my business is listing heavy. I'm fortunate enough to be carrying about 5 listings right now, with a couple more potentially coming up. But there's a few buyers that are out there, just I haven't found what they're looking for yet.
Got it.
With so all that inventory, Tiffany, your buyers are still kind of picky or just not
I
finding?
know. One of them is a client who's in a current house that, their payment's like $800 a month. So they bought in 2018. So they have a lot of equity. They've had a child. That child's now 6. So they'd like something bigger, but they're pretty comfortable where they're at. And that payment's pretty hard to walk away from. So it has to be just the right house. So them, and then actually not local, I have probably another 3 buyers that will be relocating here to Arizona. And, it just hasn't happened yet.
Got it.
$800 for a house payment. That's like the average car payment these days.
Yes.
That's crazy. So of the people that are selling, your clients that are selling, are they going from, there's this dynamic right now, I think, of people not wanting to sell because they're in a 3%, rate, and then buying and getting into a 6.5 or whatever the case is, how are you, I guess, talking through that dynamic, or are they bringing that up?
Just about everybody needs to sell that I'm working with. So like my latest closing was a 2-story house. She started having back issues, knee issues. They're an older couple. So although they thought that was going to be their forever home, no, it was not. So we sold that home and they bought a single level. So that one closed recently. One is a divorce. One is a parent who died. One is her husband passed away about a year ago. They all have a reason to sell.
So it sounds like life situations more so than just wanting something different.
Yes.
Got it.
Another one's moving out of state.
Yeah. And I think you get those referrals because you have built such a database of people, right, that know, like, and trust you. And so no matter what comes up in their life, they're going to reach out to you directly. So I think that's great.
Hopefully.
So tell us a little bit about the decal that you put on your car.
Yes. So like a lot of realtors out there for a very long time, I used to just have the magnets on the side of my car. And I decided to do something a little different. I had gotten a new car in July of 21 and I didn't want a magnet on the side. I was like, no, I'm gonna put something on the back. And I really had thought it was much more expensive than it was. But I was able to, I have a past client that actually works for a RV shop, but they have a, little secondary business within there. It's RV Master Tech, just to give a shout out. The decal was only like $120. And that included to design it. But basically I had not had my own logo branded to me in the past. I've come up with different taglines throughout the years, but none of them super resonated with me. And I've changed them throughout the years until I saw, hold on, gotta love Zoom, until I saw this. Hustle and heart will set you apart. And that, it was a Remax thing. And I said, oh my gosh, that's me. Hustle and heart, hustle and heart. It was made for Tiffany Drejza. So as soon as I saw that, I said, that's it. That's my line for the rest of my life. So now I say, hustle and heart has set me apart since 1989.
Wow.
And isn't that good?
Yeah. So I was going to ask you with that decal, is it like a window tint or a wrap or?
It looks, it's one of those that when you look at it, you think that the person inside the car can't see out. It looks like a solid thing, but it's little dots and you can see out. But it's pretty solid and it's the whole back of the window. And, Remax is a pretty recognizable brand. So I don't have my face on there. I don't need anybody calling me because of my face. So it's a big, Remax balloon, but on the side, that's, let's call it a third of it. And then the other 2/3 is hustle and heart has set me apart since 1989.
With the phone number?
Call me and my phone number.
Perfect.
No, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that was the beginning. That was the first marketing piece designed. And then I'm not one that just, I don't buy online leads. I've learned long ago, I don't want to pay for strangers. That's not my cup of tea. And then all the little places you could, the grocery store carts, all of that kind of jazz. I'm like, no, 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 no. But it is smart. I thought I will advertise at places that I'm frequent. So I am a church goer. So I decided, you know what? That's pretty recognizable when my car is in the parking lot. I'm going to use that exact same graphic for the church bulletin. So I decided it, makes sense to spend my money there because it's now kind of a 2-for-1. They'll see me in the parking lot, might see it on the bulletin. And I've gotten more involved this year. So I've started volunteering with the St. Vincent de Paul group, which is an awesome group of people. I am one of the younger ones in that group. Honestly, that has been delightful to get to know them all. And everybody has questions all the time. How's the real estate market? What's going on? I live in Pebble Creek. What are homes selling in Pebble Creek? Oh, there's a lot of homes for sale in Pebble Creek, whatever. So it's really been a nice source to have those conversations. And I have received my first referral from that group of people that we're under contract now. And then my son, who's 17, asked me to get involved with his life team group. And I was I'm like, really? Are you sure? Do you want me? But what an honor, what an honor. And I'm just so grateful because I absolutely love working with all these teenagers. So needless to say, my car's in the parking lot. The parents are picking up their kids. And I just got a referral from a fellow core members, what they call us. And she's moving out of state. And we had been on a retreat together. So we got to know each other better. And she said, I want you to sell my home. I said, okay.
Nice. So I'm curious. So you have your car, you have your bulletin or your logo in the bulletin.
Mm-hmm.
And do you bring up real estate at all when you're at church, or do you just kind of let the...
No, okay. I never bring it up. However, and not every week because it would be obnoxious, but definitely I do strategically make sure I'm wearing my Remax, especially on... with the St. Vincent de Paul, they have it's really like a food bank, thing. So that maybe not so much there, but twice a month they have a meeting. So every time I either have on my Remax or I am genuinely coming from an appointment. So I'm looking,
sure,
professional, and it kind of invites and reminds them like, oh yeah, you're in real estate. And I have my name tag.
Okay. Good stuff.
So it definitely pays to, not be a secret agent.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Have a branded shirt or whatever, something that people will see who you work for. I'm all about the name tag. No, I don't wear my name tag in church. But again, if there's a meeting or something of that nature, I might have my name tag on. And just being really one of my secret weapons, and every agent who's listening to this absolutely hopefully already does, but if not, listen to the Cromfort Report. Thank you, Security Title, for sponsoring that, because I feel like I am so intelligent. The Cromfort Report, for you gentlemen, you probably already know, it's the statistics and everything. So I can give really specific when they say, how's the market? Or I'm waiting for the foreclosures. Oh, well, and I can come back with just very specific information on, about 25% of the market is giving concessions right now. Have you thought about, depending on who I'm talking to, if it's the buyer or the seller, but that is the secret weapon to be able to really have a good answer to how's the market.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Cromford Report is amazing for sure. And speaking of Security Title, there's something that you do with your listings now too, right? Out by the sign or something you mentioned?
Yes. So I'm just so grateful for my marketing partner at Security Title. Joanna takes great care of me. So one of the things that we did through Remax years ago, probably, I don't know, 12 years ago, was something called a permaflyer. And it was a printer out of state that actually had marketed to our office. And maybe other agents out there do it. I've never seen it. But as we all know, flyer tubes are kind of antiquated. And if there is a flyer tube, it's going to be empty, all that stuff. So this, if I was really smart and great, I'd have one just to show you, but I don't have one handy. But it's 18 by 12. I'm like, I got nothing here. But it's 18 by 12. And it actually attaches right to this post. And it typically it's almost just like a glorified flyer, bigger, on some kind of like permacore, whatever they call that material that can get wet, etc. And I just screw it right into the post. So it's a permanent flyer right on the post. Sellers love them.
Yeah.
And
it does make your yard signs pop.
Sure does.
It does. It sets you apart, might pick up an extra listing. As far as like actually networking with like strangers, where I would do that is either open houses or on any new listing, you should walk the neighborhood. That is back to the basics. So sure, again, you can always do more, but no matter what, I always at least walk about 12 homes, 4 or 5 on each side and then across the street. I like to be able to like point and say, hey, I just listed your neighbor's house. If I'm 4 blocks away, is it really your neighbor? If I'm new and have nothing else, then maybe I would do that. But as an experienced agent, I am going to at least catch those people. And I'm a believer in sign writers. I call it a bling out my sign. So from the honey stuff the car to I'm gorgeous inside. And they have some unique ones that we serve in some of the different places. But I always try to have 2 or 3 sign writers and then that permanent flyer on the post.
So you're using a different type of sign writer that's catchy, not just the coming soon or the sold or the pending.
Yeah, I have found some that says like, you'll love this place, a little bit of heaven. Those are really unique. I don't normally see those out there. And then, the other ones that everybody's familiar with. If you have 4 bedrooms, put a 4-bedroom writer on the sign.
Sure.
Cool. On the sign. Most signs don't have anything on them.
That's true.
That is true. You mentioned since you're not a new agent, but if you were a new agent or if you're an agent in today's market that isn't staying busy or doesn't have business right now, what's something you think that agents should do like right now to get some business?
There's 3 things I would recommend. Number 1, go out and preview new homes. When you preview a new home, take a video while you're out there so that it looks like you're busy. Hey, I'm out at blah, 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 blah. Great buy. It gives you something to talk about. You have good product behind you. You're learning about stuff. I mean, just all the way around. Excellent. Number 2, open house, open house, open house. Yeah. New home builders are open 7 days a week. And even if you do something during the week from 3 to 5, maybe trying to get evening traffic coming home, it's a forced study hall, while you're there. If you're not getting anybody through, write thank you notes, go back through your phone. Is there anybody that I've met? You can go knock on a couple of doors around the house. And then even if no one answers, you can look them up in the tax record, send them a thank you note. Hey, I'm the agent that had this house open. We'd love your help to pick your neighbor. Please keep me in mind if you have any real estate needs. So check with agents in your office. Almost every listing agent has some listing they would love to be held open that is available. So social media, but a lot of new agents, especially the younger agents, are only relying on social media. You got to be belly to belly. You've got to meet people. You need to be out where people are. You need to practice talking. Know your purchase contract. Your purchase contract is your paycheck. So practice it till you can turn it upside down and review it and paraphrase every single, paragraph on there. As often as you need to do that until you're comfortable. Because if you're not comfortable writing and presenting a contract, you're going to avoid it.
That's true. No, that's great advice. And I'm sure agents that are watching or listening right now can use some of those things to go out and hustle, I guess, right? I think that's the word. I think too many people sit back and wait for leads to come to them.
Oh, yeah. No.
So
I think those are
really
great, definitely great tips. Joanna, you have any? Oh, there we go. Good things come to those who hustle. So I was just going to ask Joanna. So what ideas do you have as a title agent or a marketing partner?
I'm hoping that my microphone works okay and you guys can hear me all right.
Yes.
We hear you.
Yes. So Tiffany hit on some really good ones. We're seeing a lot of activity for the agents doing open houses. And especially if you're willing to get out, knock on some doors, the day before, invite the neighbors out to the home. I know for myself, we've had 2 homes sell in our neighborhood and nobody held open houses for them. And nobody came out and talked to the neighbors about what the home sold for. One was newly remodeled. I know all of our neighbors were very curious of what it looked like. So I had the access to be able to go into the MLS and get all of that information, but I'm sure a lot of the neighbors would have valued that information if those agents would have gotten out there. Social media is a great one, especially doing video. But again, like Tiffany mentioned, I think spreading it out, not relying on just one source, getting out, doing some door knocking, open houses, and then tying in some social media and other activities as well.
Good stuff.
And building up that database, I'm still shocked at how many times, like Tiffany experienced her first few years of not keeping that contact information. Goodness, there's so much referral opportunity 2-3 years down the road if you really keep in front of those and develop and cultivate those relationships, which Tiffany has done amazing. I had the privilege of attending one of her client appreciations, and you can really get to experience the relationships that she has cultivated with her clients.
No, that's really good. And then I'm also curious, like with newer agents, we have our sphere, or the new agents, they have their sphere, their families. And of course, when you get out of real estate school, you immediately think, oh, everybody's going to come to me now, my family and my friends, but that's not really the case. So I'm curious, if they do go through their sphere, they say, hey, I'm in real estate now, and no one's really coming. How else would you build your database?
I think that's where it is, going out and doing those open houses, doing some door knocking, doing the social media. I have a lot of agents who are getting involved with some of the real estate groups and getting some leads off the social media through those real estate groups. But you've got to put yourself out there, especially as a new agent that you don't have a lot of those contacts. I would look at that like, I want to build a database of 200-300 people. Now you've got to find a way to go out and meet them. Tiffany's doing her church and some of the volunteer work. If you're involved in any type of organization like that, don't be afraid to wear your name badge, put your information on your vehicle, just letting those people know as well that you're in real estate.
No,
another source of business that most seasoned agents don't like to do because it's painful. But if I was new and had no business, if you let you network within your own office that you're open to taking rental calls and rental leads, even if you just do that your first year, that will help you develop your database. And it's a lot of work for a little money, but it's better than doing nothing. And you're practicing talking and getting in front of people. One of the sales I had last year was from someone I helped my first year at Remax get a rental. And when their name, I did not stay in touch with them as I should have, but their name popped up in my phone and I had them saved in my phone. I'm like, oh, this name looks familiar. And he's like, I don't know if you remember us. You helped us get a rental. We've been in the home for 8 years and we thought of you. I'm like, oh, thank God. And so I helped them get a home. And then they referred me their sister who bought 800,000.
Nice.
So, that's just from that one little rental lead. That's how that all goes. Plus, again, anybody that is somewhat friendly to you. My family and I were out to dinner the other night and at a place called Hayashi, where it's like a group sitting. It's that takoyaki grill thing. Anywho, there was a family that was next to our family. Very nice. We had a very engaging conversation. And when it was all done, I said, hey, I sell real estate. Can I give you my card? Like, oh, yes, blah, 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 blah. So I gave them my card. They gave me their card. I sent them a little note. It was so good to meet you at Hayashi. It was such a great conversation. I'll be here whenever you're ready. I'd love to work with you in the future. So, who knows? I mean, that'll probably be all I do with it. If someone else is more assertive, they can continue touching and dripping and all that stuff if you wish to. But it's just one more touch to, at a minimum, mail. Text is good. Email, so many of us just, erase the email. So either a text, a call, or good old-fashioned snail mail is just another way when you follow up with people you do feel you've connected with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's great. So did you take your business card, put it on the spatula with the shrimp and kind of go, whoo? No?
Onto their plate.
Well, you know what? That's interesting is that one of the things that I've learned is you always better have a business card easily accessible. If you got to dig and find, let me go to my car. No, it's got to be whoop.
Oh, that's me.
That's great. That's great. Anything else you ladies want to share before we move to the final segment here?
No?
Oh, I do. So another thing that is I've done in the past, but we've just started doing it again at the beginning of this year, is an accountability group at our office. There's about 5 or 6 of us. Really not any. There's a couple of new agents. They tend not to show up as consistently as they should. But the good 5 or 6 core member, we're there every Monday. And we each have our own goals. It's not one of those where your goals are my goals. But we each have our own goals and we review them every week. This is what you said you were going to do last week. How did that go? It feels great to kind of brag a little bit, get that attaboy. You feel that pressure like, oh, I got my group tomorrow and I didn't get that, last thing done. I'm going to get it done. And then you set your goals for the new week. And just to be successful in business, that's just a fantastic way to hold yourself accountable and start your week.
Yeah, I agree with that. Having accountability partners is a great thing. And like you were saying, if I didn't do it, then I have to report it to them. It's like, oh no, I didn't do it. And then they kind of encourage you, right? So no, I think that's a great tip.
Yeah, I heard somebody they were on a podcast or a video podcast, and they were talking about their accountability group and about how they go around the circle and you had to say how many appointments you had yesterday or today. So if I had 1 yesterday, I would say 1. And if I had 0 today, it would be 0. So I'd say 1, 0. And you just go around the circle. And he said that anybody that had to say 0, 0, they didn't want to have to say it twice, 2 days in a row. So they really got out there to try to get an appointment that next day. He said it really works.
Huh.
So, all right, ladies, you ready to get in the ring? We're going to do some rapid fire questions.
Let's do it.
First, a big shout out to Security Title Agency and Fidelity National Home Warranty for sponsoring the show. Make sure to give them a shot if you haven't. Right, Joanna?
Yes.
Yes. All right, here we go. These will be easy, okay? Pizza or cheeseburgers?
Pizza.
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 Favorite activity outside of work?
Karaoke.
Wow, really?
And I don't sing good, but I do like to do it.
Hey.
Family time.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
All right. How about your favorite vacation destination?
Girls' weekend, wherever they're going.
Good one. Yeah, I've got a good girls group too, so that'd be a good one. I pretty much anywhere there's a beach.
Beach.
Yeah, that's always great. How about a favorite Netflix or Amazon Prime series?
We just finished The Diplomat. That's a really good one. Very
Diplomat.
intriguing.
Oh, I just started watching that. Yeah, I watched the very first episode on that. I said, oh, I wonder how this is going to turn out.
Is that on
Definitely
Netflix?
time. I think it's good. Goodness, I can't remember if it's Netflix or Hulu. I think it's Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is Netflix. The last couple ones I've watched was Dead to Me with Christina Applegate. That was a good one.
Oh, okay.
And I have just started watching The Chosen. Very good.
The Chosen. Yeah,
No.
It is really good.
yeah, that's a good one.
We're
Yes.
I think we're in the third season now. My wife and I, we started that about, I don't know, a week ago or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
definitely
good
worth
one.
watching.
Have you
It's
guys
good.
seen Ted Lasso yet?
Oh, yes, Ted Lasso. Love
Yeah.
Ted Lasso.
That's so good. You got to watch it. The first season, though. I mean, he's so funny, so funny.
Yes.
Especially for us, our age, right? We know all the things that he's talking about.
Watch it, Jeff. You'll like it.
All right, I will.
What they're talking about, Jeff, do you?
What?
I have no idea what they're talking about, do you?
It's on
Andrew,
Apple
you haven't
TV.
watched Ted Lasso?
Yeah. You
haven't.
Girl.
it's a great. He's a coach, and I'll leave it at that. But you just need to watch it because he's so funny when he does his stuff. So the words that come out of his mouth.
It's only on Apple TV?
It's only on Apple TV. So, but it's worth getting whatever subscription they have just for that.
I'll check it out. And last one, how about Apple or Android?
Apple.
Apple.
Apple. Joey?
Droid.
Android.
That was my first phone, my first smartphone.
Yeah.
You turn it on. Droid.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that. Wow, that's such an old. Yes, I remember that. Droid.
Well, thank you so much for being on here. We appreciate all the info.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Tiffany and Joanna, it's been a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you, Joey, Jeff. We appreciate you.
All right. Until next time,
Absolutely.
agents, we'll see you later.
See you later.